Hey guys, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. You know, at home, you're surrounded by your family, your friends, all your loved ones, and you're used to them. You're comfortable because they're your loved ones. What happens when you're thrown into the mix with all sorts of weird, crazy people? Find out in this episode of my Tales from the High Seas. Hey, I've missed all of you, and we're back with another exciting Tales from the High Seas. But first I want to say Happy Father's Day 2020 to all you fathers out there. And you know what? To all you mothers out there that do double duty as mothers and fathers. I want to talk today about the NCL Encore Group Cruise we did in January. You know, it was no different than any other cruise that Kevin and I have been on. It really wasn't. You know, you have the good people and you have the weird, crazy people. And trust me, there was no shortage of some real oddballs aboard this ship. And you know, I can tell you that the 80 some odd people who were with us on this Cruising with Wheels group cruise can attest to what I'm going to tell you. Now, first of all, let's talk about that other group I that was aboard the ship. Yeah, there was another large group cruise, and they were, I don't want to say they were god awful, but Lord, they were god awful. It was just, I don't know how to say it, awful. I mean, so many of them were so rude and nasty and just running the crew into the ground. It was absolutely inexcusable. Now, first of all, you had the kids. The kids were just really tormentors. They really were. I mean, they would go into karaoke night and they would start pulling the plugs on all the equipment. That's number one. Okay, and just wreaking havoc. I mean, really bullies, these kids. And these kids range from, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever. Or you'd find them, you'd get off an elevator, right, on a deck, and they were playing hockey, and they had rolled up towels or rolled up stuff, and all of them were right there, and you get out of the elevator, and people would be like, oh, because you're like in the middle of a hockey game as they're, batting and kicking things around. I mean, they were everywhere all over the ship. You know what? And their parents were no better. There were so many times that we would walk into the buffet or walk by a restaurant, and the parents would be screaming and yelling at the crew, throwing plates of food onto the floor like some 5-year-old having a tantrum. The crew was constantly at their tables. Supervisors were constantly running, okay, because there was always some problem. They were never happy with anything. I don't know what the deal was, but it was certainly, to say it nicely, which I really don't want to say it nicely because it was unbecoming of a human being's actions toward others. It was totally uncalled for. And there was just this constant tension and all this drama on board the ship because of that group cruise. Because, there was a lot of them. And half of them were in the Haven. Half of them were on the rest of the ship. I know the people we knew that were staying in the Haven had Silo Steve and his family had 2, 3 in the morning calling down to the front desk security because these kids were in the hot tubs in the Haven, which are closed, I think, by midnight or 1 maybe. And these kids should have, and they're making a ruckus, screaming and yelling. And, he's like, we're paying a lot of money for the Haven experience. And these kids are just running wild, totally unsupervised, and running roughshod over everybody. And at one point, some of the kids, they nabbed in the shops, the trade wind shops on the ship, because they were shoplifting. Yeah, they were stealing. They caught them stealing. I'll say it right out. Shoplifting. They were stealing. And they had the kids and whoever they found, the kids and the families sequestered and locked in their cabin. You're not in America, people. American rules, jurisprudence, justice. You are going by the rules of the ship, and they ain't playing. So they were locked in their cabin. But this went on all week. We told you in another episode that they had control of Le Bistro for dinner all week. Private elevators. Signs were posted that the elevator was closed down. It was private for this group. At certain days during the week, even Taste and Savor were closed down for their lunches. So this group really took over the ship. Had we known, we don't certainly want our group cruise of wonderful, fabulous people to be confused with that horrible group cruise that were just intolerable. Also, I remember when we were, I think it was Saturday, we had the trivia contest results in the hometown gift exchange, and we had it. We had it before they did. They had some event going on after us. And I remember when we were done and everybody had pretty much left, some of the people walked in and they were very vocal that the fact that this conference room had to, quote, be cleaned and fumigated from us before they would even enter for their event. I mean, it was just... it was awful. But in the end, I do want to say that two things happened. Number one, we were told that they were all fined. That's how bad these people were. They were charged and fined cleaning fees by the ship because of all the extra hours of cleaning and running and everything that the crew had to do. Yeah, we were told that by the general manager because everybody was apologizing to everybody else on board the ship for what these people were doing. And it's like the crew and the management, the officers were desperately trying to control the situation because, they didn't want all of that to interfere with everyone else's experience, but in the end it was. And you talk to anybody on board the ship, any other cruiser, and you talked about that group cruise, and they were like, oh my God, I would have kicked them off this ship after the first day. And we're like, yeah, I mean, we all paid our fare. We paid our fare. We want to enjoy our cruise, but you know what I always say about a cruise and weird people? It's a crapshoot. They could have come on board. They could have been the best, most wonderful, endearing group ever. Like our group. But they weren't. Most of them were horrid. Yeah, I'll say it, horrid. So yeah, they were fined cleaning fees and all this extra stuff because they were just destroying the ship. And, but I want to say, the second thing is, when we were in the elevator, we got on the elevator, and there was a gentleman there, and he looked at us, and he said, and I quote, "I just want to apologize for some of our people. They are a disgrace to our people. And I just want to let you know that we're all not like that. And so Kevin, I just sat and Kevin was like, well, he was, trying to be nice about it. The guy was apologizing. And he was like, well, you can't control everybody, and what they do, really, is obviously not what you do. And I feel bad for you because you're in a position where you're part of that group. And yet you're in a position now of apologizing for them. And them, there'd be no apologies coming from them. I'm sure. Because, I'll say it again, they were horrid. Now, the second thing, the weird thing that happened, it happened to Kevin. And it was when he was in St. Thomas, when they did the mountaintop, and then off to the beach. He was in the men's room. He had to pee. And he was, at one of the urinals. I think he said he walked in. This guy was already at a urinal. And he when he walks in, you always, the guys always usually try to skip a urinal. So you have an empty urinal between the two of you. Man peeing, empty, Kevin peeing. So, he's in there doing his business. You want to go in there, very private. You're la 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 la, And so the guy who's kind of one over from him starts talking to him. God, I hate when I'm in the bathroom, people are talking to me. I'm very pee shy. Very pee bathroom shy. Don't be talking to me. I don't want to be interacting with anyone. I'm there to do my business and get out. So the guy starts going, hey, don't I know you? And Kevin's like, I don't know. Do you? Yeah, aren't you those YouTube people? I've seen you on the ship. And then again, the guy, while he's peeing, turns away from the urinal. Yeah, you're cruising with wheels, and he's peeing. And Kevin's like, dude, you're peeing on me. Oh yeah, sorry, man, sorry. And it's like, oh my God. And you've probably, maybe have seen this in movies where this happened, but it really happened. Yeah, he's getting peed on by this guy who's like, and then turns. Don't I know? Yeah, you're the cruising with wheels people. Oh my God. You could have all had this conversation after everyone's done with their business. I'm glad that you know us. I'm glad that you watch us. But please don't pee on me. I mean, jeez. What you gotta do for your fans? Now, this next story happened up in the observation lounge, top deck. And in the observation lounge, where everybody's lounging around in their big chairs and couches and viewing this gorgeous view, because it's pretty much all glass up there. The view is awesome. Everyone loves the observation lounge. And of course they have this mini buffet. They got treats. They got muffins and danishes and quiches, and they even had cold cuts and rolls and butter, and of course they have all the utensils that are all rolled up in their cloth napkins, and dispensers for coffee and juices and waters, little mini thing. And so it's like you see things, and then you say to yourself, I know I didn't see what I just saw. I did not see some guy walk up to the little mini buffet, pick up the roll of utensils that are rolled up in the cloth napkins, unroll the utensils, put them down, take the cloth napkin, blow his nose, and drop it back down on the tray and walk away. I know I didn't see that. Because in a normal world, I would not have seen that. And yet, here we are in a ship. where you don't know who's who and where they came from and how they live, yeah, you pretty much see stuff like that. Yeah. And you kind of turn and go, oh, Lordy Lord, you have got to be kidding me. Where do these people come from that is acceptable? I just don't know. I really don't know. It really astounds me. And then things like after the muster drill, Kevin told me when everybody was leaving, because, muster drill's very jam-packed with people. And, people want to get out. Everybody's got to go to muster. It's required, maritime law and all that. But when it's over, everybody is running for the hills. They are running. And as everybody was exiting, and I think it was from the theater, this old guy fell. He fell. And everybody just kept walking by him, walking over him, like he wasn't even there, right? Because, they're on vacation. And it's not my job to pick anybody up that's fallen. What, are we not from a decent society anymore? Right? We have no humanity. Some old guy falls and you all walk by, practically step over him like he doesn't even exist because you got to get to the bar quick. You got to be the first one in line to get a drink. Good Lord. My God. Are we not part of a society anymore? Is there some total breakdown that's happening once you board a ship? I've always said that. What happens when people go up the gangway and board a cruise ship? Do they go through some secret invisible membrane where they cross over and get on the ship and the breakdown of society and manners just occurs and it's all Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome kind of mentality? It's all, total breakdown. I don't understand. And I know that Jamie told us, of Jamie and Gavin, they were on the group cruise with us from the UK, and even Jamie said, I think he said it was after muster drill, and they were going down the stairs, and some lady was behind him, and she's shoving him. She's pushing him. And she's calling him rude. He's rude. He's like, why? First of all, lady, why are you touching me? And we're on the stairs. Why are you pushing me? I'm sorry, am I not going fast enough for you to get to the nearest bar or buffet? I mean, seriously, what is wrong with people? I don't understand. And I know that when I tell these stories, people say, oh my God, I don't even know why you even go on a cruise. It sounds so awful. And our response is, well, then why do you go to the grocery store? Or why would you go to a clothing store? Or why would you go to your doctor's office? Or why would you go out on the street? Or why would you go to a festival? Or why would you go to... It's the same thing. Rude people are everywhere. Okay, they're not just on cruise ships. And again, I will say it. It's a crapshoot. You don't know who's coming on board. Thousands of people from all different parts of the globe, from all different walks of life. And you're all thrown in some petri dish mix aboard a cruise ship. Of course, you're going to come across crazy, weird, rude people. They're everywhere. They're not just on a ship. So don't even go there. I know you've run into them. We're always running into them here at home. It's no different. Absolutely no different. So, there you have it. Another Tales from the High Seas. I want to thank you for joining me today. And remember, don't just watch this video. Click to join our Cruising with Wheels family. And don't forget to click that little bell because you'll get notices every time one of our videos goes live. And remember that we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. So, remember, join us again for another episode of Tales from the High Seas, and travel safe, and cruise often.